Hello folks, I hope you're all doing well. We are down here in the greenhouse and what a glorious night to be here. It's Thursday night when I'm filming this and let's have a look at the little temperature gauge. It is still 22.6 degrees in here at this time of night and the windows open and the doors open a little bit. It's absolutely glorious. Hopefully this is the start of things to come. But it's not all good news, I'm afraid. All is not well in the greenhouse, or with some plants anyway. And let me show you an example here. Let me get this one. This is a blue cream blue cream tomato. Look at that. Look at that sad little tomato plant. So we've got a bit of an issue. And I spotted this the other day. Maybe it's about 4 or 5 days ago. I sort of spotted it happening. And all these tomato plants that you can see here, they were all under the grow lights in the house. Now, we'll come to that later in the video. We'll scoot up into the house and have a look at the ones that are still under the grow lights. And they all started off with the lower limbs falling off. And I've got a few here that have sort of come off. There we go. Doesn't look very healthy. And I was like, oh man, what on earth is happening to the tomato plants? And it was all of them. It's pretty much all the ones that were in there. And I was trying to figure out what's causing this to happen. Now, there was a new compost that I used. So I used some Miracle Grow. I'm just looking at the bag down here. Premium all-purpose compost. But I don't think it's that, because everything else is in that. Look, here's a nice healthy sunflower that's in that. There's another sunflower that's in exactly the same compost. Everything else that's been in the compost, absolutely fine. No bother with it whatsoever. In the chilli plants here, look at the chilies. They're looking lovely. They'll almost be ready to go out soon. So it's not the compost, it's the conditions. And what I think I've done is overwater them. So they were very wet in the pot. So not last week, it was a week before. I was away to Belfast for 4 days for work. And I had all the tomatoes, they were all sitting in these sort of gravel trays there, if you can see it, which are the ones that have the holes in the bottom. And I think I've left them in too much water. So they've been sitting in water, so the compost's been wet, the roots have been wet all the time I've been away, and they've been sitting in that sort of standing water that's caused this problem. Now, some of them are trying to recover. So let's get this one here. This one doesn't look as bad. Let me show you that. There you go. That's a rose crush. And I can actually feel from the weight of these that this one here, the sun gold, I can feel there's still quite a bit of moisture in that. And like I say, that's been about 4 or 5 days. And what I did was, I've got the next size of pot up. So they were originally, we grabbed these in these pots and we've moved them on. Sort of next size of pot up that I've got, which are these black ones. And these are normally the sort of final ones that I put them in before they go up to the plot and go to the polytunnel. And I've taken the compost, again the Miracle Grow compost, and I mixed it in with a load of vermiculite and potted these up in the hope that the dry compost and the vermiculite sort of draws the moisture out of that wet compost that they're already in. I'm hoping they're going to recover. Now they are looking, you know, they might not look it now, but they are looking a little bit better than they did a few days ago. And I bought these, let me show you these. I bought these tiny little snips. These were £2 from the garden centre the other day, and they're smashing. And I'm just using them to very, very carefully take off the dead leaves off the plant. So that's like, I'm trying not to make it worse by my big sausage fingers coming in and trying to sort of take the little dead bits off and just making it 10 times worse and peeling off bits of stem and stuff like that. So we've got these handy little snips. Like I say, they were £2 and they're doing just the job here in tomato A&E. And these ones have been out in the greenhouse. I've been keeping an eye on the temperatures. The lowest we've been down to overnight at the moment is 9.7 since they've been in here, which isn't too bad. I moved about half of them in here and about half of them are still in the house, just to give them a bit of room, a bit of air around and about them again, to hopefully try and get them to dry out a little bit quicker. And the other thing I've got, if I can find it, here it is a moisture meter. Now, I've had this for ages. Let me show you that there. I've had this for ages and never used it. And it's just got a probe on the end of it. And if we take this is a black strawberry. Now, bearing in mind, these haven't been watered since I put them in these new pots. So again, 4 or 5 days they've been in here. And let's put it in there and you can see there on the moisture meter, hopefully if the camera focuses on it, that it's gone all the way up to number 6, which is moist, on a scale of 10, which is wet. So even though they've not been watered, it's still pretty wet in that compost. So we've got tomato A&E over here trying to get them to recover. And I guess the biggest issue is, have they been knocked, and how much have they been knocked? How long is it going to take them to recover, to start growing properly again and become healthy plants? I'm hoping it's not going to be very long. And speaking of the garden centre, I did make an emergency trip there the other day to buy some backup tomato plants. I bought 3 different tomato plants. Again, they were looking a little bit. I mean, I'm a fine one to talk at the moment. They were looking a little bit leggy, so I've put them under the grow lights inside. And again, we'll go and have a look at them in a moment there and see what they're like. And I met, when I was in the garden centre, a very nice gentleman came up to me and said he likes my videos. I thought it was amazing, absolutely amazing that I got recognised when I was out. And I'm very sorry that I forgot to ask your name, and I could have given you a shout out on the video. But anyway, I'm here. We were talking about the tomato plants, and here they are, slowly or hopefully recovering. And like I say, I've got those backups and we'll go and have a look at them. So I'm in a little bit of a pickle at the moment with the tomatoes, because it's literally all of the tomato plants, all of them, every single one I had seems to have this problem. Like I say, some of them are recovering, or appear to be recovering better than others, but then, you know, then you go and see this. That's not going to recover, is it? Look at the state of it. Let's, out of interest, let's put the moisture meter in this one and see what it goes to. There we go. Can you see that? What it's on? Hopefully the camera focuses on it there. That is on number 8, which is in the wet zone, which isn't ideal, and it's just pulled loads of the compost out there with it, but not ideal. So we'll see how things go. I might be making another trip to the garden centre to get some plants. It was 3 plants for £6, was it? Which is £2 a plant. Not too bad. It's not as cheap as me growing my own, which isn't great. And what I also do is I'm limited to the varieties that the garden centre's got. Like I say, I got Sun Gold, which is brilliant. Love Sun Gold. Ailsa Craig, and another one. I'll look them up again. We'll go inside after this and we'll have a look at them. But what I lose is my fancy varieties. So my one remaining Brad's Atomic Grape isn't looking great. I'm hoping it's going to recover. So I've got at least one of them. The blue cream ones don't look great, and the black strawberries don't look great either. The Sun Golds and the Rose Crush and the Honeycomb are looking a lot better, but we'll see. Anyway, but right, let's head in now. Let's have a look inside and see what the ones under the grow lights are like. And here we are in the little space that I've got tucked away in the cupboard here under the grow lights. So you can see the sort of tomato disaster we're having here. So these are 2 Brad's Atomic Grape, and I think they are very, very, very much dead, as you can see there. And this one over here, Black Strawberry, that's not looking very healthy as well, is it? I think that's on its way out. Some of the others, not so bad. This one here, which is a Honeycomb, some of these lower limbs, again, like we saw earlier on, are all sort of floppy and dying, but the leaves up the top there, not too bad. I can feel from the weight of the pots again, they're still holding quite a bit of moisture, even though that's a few days. They've been in the new pots here with the new compost. I still feel there's a bit of weight in there, a bit of moisture. Hopefully they're just going to keep getting better. These ones again are looking a little bit better there again. They're the blue cream berries, they're called, those ones there. This one here, this is a Sun Gold, I think. So they're not looking too bad. And again, I don't think it's the compost at all that's caused this problem, because if we come to the back here, and you can see the sort of, look at the cucumber, it's absolutely flying, that is massive. And the peppers, the sweet peppers there, and some aubergines here looking good, and more sweet peppers over here looking absolutely fab. And as I said before, we bought our sort of backup tomato plants here from the garden centre the other day. So we've got an Ailsa Craig, we've got a Golden Zlatava, this one, never heard of that one before. I'll probably grow that anyway, just to see what that variety's like. And we've got another Sun Gold one back here. So they're the healthy looking plants, as opposed to mine, where we've got some of these rather droopy looking leaves. But these are the rose. This is a Rose Crush one again. It's a big tomato there. So all the lower limbs have come off there, and it's quite a long stalk. But I might get some taller pots and try and pot them all the way up there, and all these little hairs here on the stem, they'll turn into roots. So there we have it. It's not always good news in these videos. We've had a bit of a disaster with the tomatoes. They're all in tomato A&E, various different places, under the grow lights, in here. Will they survive? Who knows? I mean, push comes to shove, I'll go and buy some more from the garden centre. It's not the end of the world. It's not ideal, it's not brilliant, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, but that's where we are with the tomatoes. I'll be sure to keep you up to date as to how I get on with them over the next few weeks before it is sort of time for them to be going out, and we'll see how they get on. Anyway, that's me done for today. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.